Must be the 25th, Friday of January. And just here for the usual update and maybe playing a few tunes. That was the funnest part of the week for me, was messing around with that cool Moody Blues tune, Gypsy. So, hope everybody's had a chance to check out the lesson on that. If all went well, it's alive and well right now. And anyway, a few other kind of cool things happening this week. So this week I just decided to do two of my all-time favorite songs. Along with, of course, the usual student reviews and things. The cool reviews, of course. What was that? The Wait. And, let's see, what was the other student review? Anyway, I really appreciate people putting up those videos, and it always gives me, really like taking a look at them, and we've had some major improvements in a lot of our old-time members lately. So this week it was a couple of, I hate to call you guys old-timers, but you know, some of our members that go way back to the early days, Willem and Tovo. So thanks for putting up some cool videos, and hope everybody gets something out of the suggestions. Most of them had to do with timing and just a little more precision in a couple spots. So what else? Oh, so the songs, of course, the Target songs that came out this week were So Begins the Task, the Stephen Stills song, which is going to lead me into, we're going to have to talk about that, I guess. We'll get back to that in a minute. Remind me to talk about the Recommend a Lesson feature and just some other things that happen around here. Okay. So we have So Begins the Task, and then of course Gypsy from To Our Children's Children. And I think I mentioned this in the lesson, but one of the first, probably the second concert, maybe the third concert I ever went to, was the Moody Blues, and it was right around 1970 or so, and they were playing a lot of stuff from this album, and this is what the show opened up with, and I just was blown away when I heard that opening guitar riff. Oh, no pick, but anyhow, very cool. Let's see, the Fly on the Wall too. Oh, I have to talk about that because, oh man, too many things to do. Wait a minute, let me calm down. We really like the Stephen Stills, the little Steve Stills oddities in fingerpicking. Using the second bass note, just letting it be an open string on both the F chord and the C chord. Very typical of a lot of his songs. So that was one of the little features, and of course, So Begins the Task. Which leads me to the Recommend a Lesson list, because one of the things that I do keep an eye on it every week. I check in or so, and a lot of times I really look for things that are recent suggestions, and sometimes something like that just grabs me because it's a song I've been meaning to do, and then all of a sudden we get one request for it. I think there were two for that one, but and it just moves up to the top of my list, as that happened a long time ago with an Al Stewart song, Clifton in the Rain, as I recall, too. And anyway, so keep those requests coming, because you never know. Just because something only has one vote or no votes, well, it can't have no votes, I guess. But doesn't mean it doesn't have to get high into the hit list for it to grab me. Sometimes songs just grab me. This happened the other day, and I don't want to give too much of this away yet because I'm not sure I'm going to pursue it yet. But I kind of generally keep music playing in the background here all the time. You can probably, let's see. Timpano now is playing in the rest of the backyard, but I sometimes something comes up on the playlist which is massive, tens of thousands of songs that have accumulated over the years, I'm sure, and mostly taken from my own CDs, and LPs. Back when I used to spend time digitizing them. Don't do too much of that anymore. Now I just would go out and buy them. So it's but sometimes I hear something kind of cool in the background, and it grabs me, and I drop whatever I'm doing. And the other day it was this one. Anyhow, not sure I'm going to get to a lesson on that, but it's one of those things that nobody will ever see coming, except I just gave it away. Sort of like Gypsy. I don't think that was even on the request list, but that's what happened. Okay, sorry. The real story I meant to get to was the fly on the wall lesson that I alluded to last week with Sandy on putting a chord solo together. And this week we worked on a little bit more, and I'll probably get that up for you next week. But Scott had a interesting comment, and something I was actually planning on doing with this lesson somewhere down the line, but you guys could work on this first, and that is you have to have a clear idea of the melody and a clear idea of the chord progression. So what Sandy did was went home and wrote out the melody, or at least wrote out the notes. She didn't worry too much about the timing because she knew it, but she had them spaced into measures and just then had, okay, here's this set of notes that have to happen with this chord, here's this set that have to happen with that chord. So what I will probably do when we get to the second half of her lesson, or the follow-up lesson, is put just a simple little lead sheet. Now a lead sheet is just something that has the melody written out. It's the way you'd see it in the real book, or in what they call fake books, because the first fake book was called the real book. Well, maybe not the first, but it was I don't have, they're in the box somewhere. Got a big old stash of these books, and they're actually what I started playing. And when I first started doing finger picking arrangements of songs, I had this one called Golden Standards of the 1920s, and it had some stuff in there like anyhow, it was great to just have what the melody was written out in, just like for a singer, and the chords were right there just over them, and I thought, that's a great thing to have. Started messing with songs like, uh-oh, wait a minute, there it is. And so found these cool tunes. I'm sure you guys can identify all of those. There are only 3 there, I think. And that's really what helped my path of creating chord solos, was just to sit there with the melody, look at the chords, and try to put them together. Figure out a way to play the chord that you can reach the melody notes. Sometimes you have to play these Fs with a high A in them. That was always a pain. Or you play it here, or you play it here. But so with Sandy, when we were working on Here, There, and Everywhere, her first assignment was to go home and write down the melody. And she came back with the melody written out. So then we put it all together. So the thing that everybody else could probably work on now is write down the melody to Here, There, and Everywhere, and figure out the chords in the key of G. I think we talk about them enough in the lesson. And see if you can piece together what we're doing there. In any case, next week, if I get to a second installment on that lesson, I will put the lead sheet in there and everybody can tackle it. But that's your assignment this week. If you want to start working on chord solos, see if you can figure out the melody to Here, There, and Everywhere. You can hear it, of course, on YouTube. Many of you might have my album, A Beatles Collection, where there's arrangements of a lot of those tunes. Okay, I think that's it. I gotta get back into playing some cool tunes today. See you in February.